Feeling a little isolated from your friends lately? School or work keeping you busy or stressed? Or maybe there's some kind of, I don't know, global crisis going on that's preventing everyone from going outside? Well, there are plenty of things you can do, but if you're like me, you'll probably want to fill that void with lots of movies and TV shows that can give you the impression that you have friends. So here's a list of 5 good movies with a great ensemble cast that'll help you feel like you're amongst friends. These are also my recommendations, so let me know if you have any other recommendations too. Goes without saying, but none of this is professional advice. If you do feel stressed or deeply upset, I strongly encourage you to reach out to a friend, a family, or a health professional. So, without further ado, let's go. Stand By Me is a classic 80s film directed by Rob Reiner that's based off a short story by Stephen King. It features a group of boys who go on an adventure to discover a supposedly dead body. Now, along the way, they're chased by a gang of bullies, they run into mishaps, and they poke fun at one another. But at its heart, it's a really endearing film about friendship, self-identity, and growing up. Honestly, the film isn't groundbreaking. In fact, it's actually been used quite a lot recently as inspiration for a lot of more recent works, seeing the resurgence of the 80s nostalgia. But it has a really authentic and genuine vibe of friendship between the main characters. It explores the sanctity of childhood friendship and how that really doesn't come as easily anymore once you grow up. It's a good, enjoyable watch. Tag is a 2018 comedy starring Jeremy Renner, Ed Helms, Jake Johnson, Hannibal Buress, Isla Fisher, Rashada. Jeez, this is a big cast. I didn't even get to John Hamm. You know what? Here's the cast list from IMDb. It's about a group of friends who have played the same game of tag since they were children, and they continue to play it as adults. It's also based off a true story, which I think is pretty cool. When I saw the trailers, it honestly looked really ridiculous, like one of those campy slapstick comedies that don't really land. But Tag is actually really enjoyable. It knows when to be sentimental and heartfelt, because at its core it looks at how difficult it can be for adults to keep their childhood spark alive through the stress and worries in being an adult. The friendship between the adults especially is really likable. You like seeing their competitive spirit persist throughout their lives, even into their professional careers or huge life events. Damn, I really miss playing Tag. I remember, like, even in year 7 or 8, people thought that playing tag was way too childish. I'll just forget how intense that game is. I'm gonna force my friends to play tag one day. Anyway, yeah, good movie, go watch it. Kikis Delivery Service. Now, I watched this movie for the first time the other week, and what else can I say? Being a Studio Ghibli film. Studio Ghibli? It's obviously beautifully animated, and I think for a lot of people, these films are like a meditative experience in that a lot of the viewing experience is just taking in the serene and gorgeous visuals, and of course their brilliant scores. Kiki is a young girl who, on her birthday, has to leave home and learn to be a witch while settling down in a new town. She navigates new friends, the new hustle and bustle of a busy city, and even self-doubt in this film. In complete honesty, there are moments where I did think that the film dragged a little, but it is a really well-told narrative, and it picks up in the third act. If you love gorgeous animation and want a nice, slow, calming story with no real sense of urgency or threat, definitely check this one out. It. Hey look, it's another Stephen King one. It has become hugely popular recently with the Machete remake, and for good reason, because it is a good remake. While I do still have reservations about how the whole story finishes up in chapter 2, I mean, it wasn't any better in the book, was it? I think the Losers Club is just absolutely brilliant together. They have some of the best chemistry I've ever seen in a film. They bounce off each other really well, and they feel like real kids. I think that 2017 Chapter 1 movie is still the best to watch, although Chapter 2 isn't a horrible continuation of the series. Even in Chapter 2, when they return as adults, they still feel authentic and genuine, and you enjoy seeing them reunite. And while it is unnecessarily longer and a little bit more insane, it's just nice seeing them grow up. Also, it's a horror movie, so you'll probably never feel alone for a little while. Toy Story 3. Now, who doesn't love Toy Story? In particular, Toy Story 3, which I think might be one of the best children movies in my opinion, because wow, did they not hold back. Andy has grown up and is moving to college, and the fate of the toys remain uncertain, and when they are mistakenly brought to a children's daycare center, they must find their way back before Andy leaves without them. So of course they deal with evil toys, and adventure ensues, but the themes of growing up and moving on are so mature for its intended demographic. Surely I don't need to explain this film because everyone's seen it by now, right? So go and rewatch it and revisit The Gang on Disney+. And if you haven't, oh boy, you in for an emotional roller coaster. So those were my 5 recommendations for movies to watch if you're in need of a good group of friends or, some laughter. Obviously there are way more films that could have fit into this list, so let me know if you have any other recommendations, or let me know what you thought about any of these. Did you cry during Toy Story 3? Did you like the original It series better than the new one? Why would you like that one? It's weird. Okay, bye.